This is the Lyman T-MAG II Turret press. It is 6 spots for dies, or as you can see here, I have a powder measure. This is the Lyman number 55, I think. Yep, number 55 powder measure. It is pretty accurate. I like the setup on here. All the adjustments over here are pretty nice. I don't know if that'll focus in there or not. No, it won't. But this is very nice press. I started out with the single stage RCBS Partner press, and it was so tedious just having to change the dies out all the time, having to set them each time, and then you take them out, put a different die set in there, a different die, and then when you put the other one back in, well, you gotta readjust it, and it's all off. So this one makes a world of difference. These are all set up here. These are my 45 ACP dies. I believe this is the depriming die here, and sizing die. This is the flaring, the end of the case, and then this is the bullet seating die. So I got 100 cases of these 45 ACPs, and these are I can't really focus it, but they're Blazer small pistol primer brass. I'm using number 500 small pistol primers. Most 45 ACP takes large primers. I use an RCBS hand priming tool. Works much easier than most press-mounted priming tools. Anyways, this is the Lyman T-MAG II Turret press. It has 6 holes again. I have an extra turret head for it, so I can put 6 more dies on there, which is super nice. I just have it mounted to the computer desk. Oops. The computer desk here with C-clamps for right now on a mouse pad. But this is a super nice press here. We're gonna take one of these cases here. I just have them deprimed and polished, cleaned, sized. We're gonna flare the end of the case. If you can kind of see that, you can tell when you take a bullet, put it in there, and it just fits in the end. Just fits. So, look at that. These are Rainier Ballistics 230 grain round nose, 500 rounds. Yeah. And then we got to prime this case. Take my hand primer here. Put it in there like that. Bam. There we go. Alright. Got the case here. Got powder charge. I'm using 7 to 7.1 grains of the IMR SR 4756. Bam. Now there was several other loads that I do with the 45 ACP, including red dot over there. That's, I think, 5.1 grains or something is what I run. Let's see here. Yeah, 5.1 grains for red dot. You can go a little higher than that. I think the maximum load is like 5.4 or 5.3 or something like that. IMR SR4756 you can go up to like 7.8, 7.7, I don't remember exactly. 7 point, what the heck is it here? 7.6, but I'm doing around 7.0 to 7.1. That's all I really need. Most of these are just for target practice and playing around, so that powder here goes in there like that. Put a bullet on there. And then where you'd have to, you might want to go through the whole 100 rounds before on a single stage press before you switch to the next step. You can just do them one at a time. There is a primer set up on here. I don't actually have it installed on here, but there is a way to prime on the press. I don't really care to ever try to do that. It just doesn't make any sense to me as to how that works. I know a lot of people hate press mounted primers, priming tools. I think that was all the way down there. Yep. So that is 145 ACP right there, fully loaded. Yeah, that's very simple to move. Very nice press. Lyman makes pretty damn good products. Not quite as tight as far as the handle goes as the RCBS Turret press or the Redding. I think Redding is like one of the higher end ones too. But for the money, it's not bad at all. It moves smoothly. There's a way you can bring that up and adjust it so that the turret head itself doesn't move. If you really, got to use some force. Otherwise, you don't need that. And of course, the number 55 powder measure also is another great addition. I also have a let's see here. Lyman stand for the powder measure, and I was going to set that up, but I don't have an actual dedicated reloading bench, or I was going to have a dedicated reloading bench, but I haven't got to that point yet. So that would be nice too. And then I can have a whole nother like 40 S&W die set here for the 3 dies, so then I can have 3 of each. But that's about it. It's a T-MAG II Turret press. I don't have anything bad to say about it, that's for sure. I haven't used the depriming die on here. I just use it for the sizing. I actually have the single stage partner press set up for depriming the brass. I was previously depriming it before I was tumbling it, thinking that the primer pockets would get clean. That's not the case. So I still do my depriming on that and some of the sizing. But I haven't figured out if the primer catcher on this press works really well. I know it doesn't so much on the RCBS Partner. But that's just, I think that was just the depriming die that I had set up. It was a kind of a spring-loaded thing. It shot primers all over the place. But anyways, this is the Lyman T-MAG II Turret press. Works very nicely, very smoothly. This handle can be changed to this side, just in case you're moving it around. And it gets in the way of this handle over here. And that can be changed too. It goes on this side if you want to use your right hand or left hand, doesn't really matter. So I already loaded Count that, 600 rounds there of 45 ACP. Shot some of each batch that I changed powder loads on. There's some 30 carbine there. There's another 100 rounds of 45 ACP. And then I'm starting this batch here. I got a whole crap load of bullets back there for 30 carbine, 40 S&W, bunch of powders, more die sets. I got 8mm 303 British, 30 carbine obviously, 40 S&W, 45 ACP, 30 AD6, 30-30, and that's about it for now. I need a 223 and some other random dies. But I shoot mostly military rifles. So the 8mm and the 303 30 carbine also was very important for me to get. So once again, I can't say anything bad about this press. It's the best investment I've ever made so far in the reloading arts, I guess, if you want to call it that. But that's an RCBS digital scale. But yeah, you can't go wrong with this press at all. It's nice. Now for accessories, you have the Lyman bench wrench, which comes with the press. Basically, adjusts or removes the turret head and some of the other nuts or whatever on the press. You got the universal priming arm. I'm probably never going to use that. Once again, like I said, I have a RCBS hand primer, which works perfectly. You can feel the pressure right when it stops, when the primer's been seated far enough. And then I got an extra turret head here. This one was about $30. Actually, it was originally $60, but down to $30. I got this stuff at Gander Mountain on clearance when they were clearancing out a bunch of their reloading stuff. So an extra head is definitely worth it, especially if you do pistol reloading. Three die sets. Like I got my 45 ACP with the powder measure on this one here. I could do 30 carbine and 40 S&W on this one. 3 dies each. You have 2 calibers on one head. So it's very, very easy to change those out. And it's nice having all those dies preset, so you never have to remove them. One thing I didn't go over yet was the powder charge measure. That's this thing here, the number 55 powder measure. You'll see a lot of these at gun shows used. They're very accurate, very dependable, and they're just so convenient when you have a turret press. And even if you don't, even if you have a single stage press, this is a must. It's very, very accurate. It's very fast. I do recommend measuring your charges after each time you every time you pull that handle, I guess. Always double check it with the digital scale. But it's almost always right around whatever you set it at. 7 grains is what I have it set at now. It's always 7, 7.1, or 6.9. It's never too much, I guess. I could pretty much just, charge all 100 rounds and never have an issue, really. So it's, no double charges or nothing, but that would be operator error, really. Putting 2 charges in one case, but not really the fault of the powder measure, but that's that. Alright, now what we're going to do here is we're going to measure a powder charge. I just take the measuring cup off the scale, put it in there. We should have around 7 grains of powder. It looks like about 7.2. So I just take the cap off of this. A little bit in here. It looks like we got 7.0 grains, which is what we're looking for. So, 7.0, 7.1 it looks like, but oh well. So we'll put that in there. And before I had this, I just measured it out by hand. I used a little powder trickler, and actually I just kind of did it by spoonful to get pretty close to where I was going, and then I'd use the trickler to finish the load off. But this works so much faster. If you don't want to measure each load like I do here, it'll be a lot quicker, but you run the risk of course, overcharging it. But really, this thing is not going to overcharge it by much. And if you're loading like I am with 7 grains, I think the max load is like 7.6. Chances are you're going to go nowhere near 7.6 when you're charging, these cases. This thing is nowhere near that far off, but I double check just to make sure, because you never know. Besides that, it's as simple as swinging back over here to this, putting the case on here, bringing it up a little bit, putting the bullet on here, and bam, we're done. Got another bullet, and that's it. I mean, if you've started with a single stage press, you'll know that this is, it looks a lot easier, and it pretty much is. I mean, there's no comparison really between this and a single stage. And when you get into rifle calibers, a single stage press might be a little more necessary. This turret does flex a little bit, which is why it has that little adjusting needle in the back, so you can raise it up to where it doesn't go down in the back. But it's still very tight. I mean, there's no play in it as far as spinning it or anything, and there's very little up and down play when you're actually putting pressure on it. Like when you're sizing cases, or when you're seating the bullets. So we're gonna do that again. That should be. You should always check the overall length, which should be like 1.27, I believe, somewhere around there. 45s. But yeah, these were all previously charged with powder. I did that off camera. But that is pretty much it. There's nothing much more for me to say about this press. I mean, I think it's $179 retail. Even at that price, it's really a deal. I mean, these single stage presses go for almost that much. And if you're doing pistol reloading especially, this is the ultimate press. Like I said, 3 dies, most pistol die sets are 3 dies, having 2 calibers on each turret head, having multiple turret heads, and you could pump out the rounds like nothing. Not having to change or reset the dies is absolutely awesome. If you add the powder charge measure on here, or like I have here on the, on its own stand. I don't have that set up though. But I mean, you really could almost pump out the rounds like you can on a progressive press. So it blows the hell out of a single stage. I don't know exactly about rifle rounds. I'll get into that some other time, but I still think this press would easily handle them, the most of them anyways, and you really can't go wrong with this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The Lyman T-MAG II, it's a nice finish, nice fit and finish. Like I said, the handle is the only thing that's somewhat loose. It really isn't loose on the up and down stroke. It's just the side to side. The handle is kind of floppy, which you don't really see in the RCBS version. At least the RCBS Rock Chuckers I know are very, very smooth. But other than that, it doesn't really affect the quality of the rounds you're loading. It doesn't affect really the quality of the press either. This thing is, it's about as smooth as it gets. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Lyman makes great products. I have mostly Lyman stuff here with occasional RCBS like the scale and the priming tool. That's it.